SOAR to Tactical Command. We are inbound on final. I say again, on final course.
Welcome to the New York State Police exhibit. If I could draw your attention to the middle of the tower, standing on the roof, I'd like to introduce our host for this show, Sergeant Eric Ozzy Osborne.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day 3 of the Great New York State Fair. I'd like to thank you all for coming, especially like to thank those of you that sat through that dog show for no other reason than to secure prime seats for this. The best show at the fairgrounds, guaranteed not to get you fleas. We are SOAR. SOAR is the tactical element for the New York State Police. As such, we conduct all those operations you would expect a SWAT team to conduct. Iris felony warrants, drug raids, barricaded subjects, hostage situation, dignitary protection. However, we also perform a few tasks you wouldn't necessarily expect out of a SWAT team, including search and rescue, specifically high-angle rappelling and rope rescue, which we hope to demonstrate here today, weather permitting. SOAR was initially started in 1979 as a counterterrorism unit in anticipation of the 1980 Olympics in Lake Placid. At that time, there were 3 teams all across the state. Since then, we've expanded to 5 teams, and in 2008, we changed our name from the Mobile Response Team to the Special Operations Response Team and became a full-time detail. Our guys don't work the road anymore. Those 5 teams spread out across the state maintain their own equipment, all the way from the large pieces, like that armored Bearcat over there, all the way to our individual harnesses. On these harnesses, on the front, you're going to see what we call a figure 8. This is our descent device. The rope is fed through that. That's how we control how we come down. The top hand on the rope's just a guide hand, just to keep you upright. The one down by the hip, that's a moneymaker. That's the brake hand. As you open it up and allow that rope to freely flow through the device, that's when you let gravity take over, and we refer to that as letting her eat. You put it towards the hip, puts friction on the device, it slows and eventually stops you. But telling you is one thing, showing you something different. So without further ado, let's bring the guys down and introduce them. On the left side of the room, representing SOAR Capital in Albany, Trooper Robert Heath. In the center from SOAR North Central, encompassing this area, Trooper Cole Seaback. On the right side of the tower, also North Central, Trooper Robert Burke. Down here on the ropes, the assistant team leader for SOAR North Central, Sergeant Ryan Orsley. Up in that top window, spinning our beat, fresh off his European tour, where he played clubs from Milan to Minsk, Trooper Puffendall. And shining our show today with the hand speed of a mongoose and the reflexes of a cheetah hopped up on Red Bull. Ladies and gentlemen, Tess! Sorry, Matt. And last but certainly not least, hailing from the frozen tundra of the North Country, Trooper Brandon Strader! Hold up, bud. Hold up. All right, folks, you'll notice we did something a little different this year. It used to come down in pairs. In this case, the cheese stands alone for a reason, right? He's going to help me demonstrate something. Like I said before, those hands on the top, just a guide hand. Down here is the brake. But as we go through and progress through this fair, we like to entertain ourselves up there. And we might open that hand up a little bit more, let her eat a little bit more, and sometimes you're gonna notice this rope will develop twists. One of those twists hits your not quite closed hand, that can pop out. You lose your brakes on the throughway, that's a bad day on the road, right? You lose our brakes up here, it's a bad day on the ropes. Which is why we have Ryan down here. He's not trying to be rude or antisocial, showing you his back. He's not trying to showcase his well-defined lats and traps. Killing it in the gym, bro. As our senior most experienced and most proficient, rope guy, he has the oh so important, yet not at all glamorous job of rope safety or belayment. If one of these guys coming down loses the rope or brake hand, he's gonna pull on that rope, putting friction on the device, slowing and hopefully stopping it. But again, telling you is one thing, showing you something different. So to help us out, Brandon's gonna take a few steps back. He's gonna get a running start. He's gonna throw himself off that roof with no hands on the rope. He's gonna flying squirrel it towards the ground, hurtling an incredible rate of speed, accelerating at 9.8 meters per second until at the very last moment, Sergeant Ordway, if he is physically able and so inclined, will use his cat-like reflexes and raw power to engage a belay, stopping that trooper mere moments from certain death or at least a sprained ankle. Ladies and gentlemen, you paid for your whole seat. You're only gonna need the edge. This part's gonna be awesome. Brandon, let's go, baby. 3, 2, what?
That's not Ryan. That's not Ryan.
Yeah, that's not Ryan. All right, hold up just a second, folks. I'm sorry. Dead air's not great for this, but hey, bud, how you doing?
Fine.
What's your name? Aiden. Did he tell you what to do?
Told me to make my sister hold the rope.
Make your sister hold the rope. You didn't really nail that, did you? She's over there, huh? All right, okay. So we're 0 for 1. It can only get better from here. All right, let me ask you real quick. What's your belay success rate? Don't worry about it. After today, it'll be 0 or 100. We're gonna establish it today. So what's gonna happen is Brandon's gonna jump off, and then you're gonna pull on the rope. All right? It's easy. On the first bounce, second bounce, it doesn't matter. At some point, just pull on the rope. He's gonna stop eventually. All right? Aiden's locked in. He's ready to go, Brandon. What do you think?
I don't think that's very safe, Oz.
Oh, this guy, these new guys with their safety. That's so overblown. All right. Listen, what's it gonna take for you to go ahead and get on the belay, Ryan? What do you think? Ice cream. You get him an ice cream cone?
What kind?
Vanilla. He's basic. That's perfect. All right, I think we talked him back into it. I appreciate it, Ryan, because he smashes in, we're out of here. Our fair's over already. So Ryan's on the belay, and we got a backup at 8. So what do you think? You ready now?
I gotta come down somehow.
Gotta come down somehow, folks. Let's give a little bit of encouragement. Screw up some tunes. Help me count them down from 3. Ready, folks? 3, 2, 1. Woo! Oh, we're getting there. We are getting there. And he can hold him up right now. We can keep him there all day. We can make it, stay there 20 minutes, make it as long as a dog show. But we ain't like that. Set him down for the rain hits. Nice job. Hey, thanks for not letting him fall. He owes me $20. That would have sucked. Thank you. And he's got one there because of his stalwart behavior here helping us out from the New York State Troopers PVA. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it from our belay guy. Folks, as you just saw, it's real easy to get spun up or twisted around up there. Gravity doesn't take an instant off. However, if you do get twisted up, end up in a precarious situation, as long as you keep your head, as long as you keep your cool, and most importantly, as long as you keep your brake hand, you're gonna be all right. So if you look all the way up top, we've got Robbie and Cole who are gonna come on down and demonstrate. All right, so I'll come down to that standard seated hip rappel like everybody else has. But now they're gonna transition their brake hand from their strong side to their support side. That's gonna allow our guys to go ahead and invert. So now even though they're upside down, as long as they maintain that newfound brake hand, they're not gonna smash face first into the beautifully manicured turf. It's what we call the commando crawl. It allows our guys to see where they're going before they present their feet or other body parts through a window. But once they've gone far enough, they can go ahead and revert Reassume that brake hand and come on down. Complete with a superhero landing, ladies and gentlemen, the invert. We didn't recruit these guys to the team directly from the Synchronized Swimming Academy. That's not swimming, guys. That's a canoe. Killing the joke. They're killing it. All right, folks, we're going to pick up on an overriding theme here at this show. At safety, we're dealing with heights, we're dealing with extreme angles, we're dealing with hard and sharp edges. It's inherently dangerous. If somebody's rappelling, rock climbing, or even hiking, they can end up in a dangerous situation. They could get injured. They can end up in a spot where they can go neither up nor down. We have to have the means to go ahead and get to those people and rescue them. Ladders aren't going to reach quite high enough, and helicopters can be counterproductive. Those rotors don't do our ropes any favors, if you know what I mean. So if you look on the roof right there, we've got Brandon start our demonstration. Say he's working his way down a sheer cliff in the Adirondacks or perhaps Ithaca, because it is gorgeous. He gets to a spot he wants to be for a little while. He's going to take that rope and wrap it around his 8. Not once, not twice, but thrice. This is called the tie-off. Once Brandon's tied off, he can go hands-free. He can invert. He can literally and figuratively hang out. He can get his cell phone out, snap a selfie, post it to his MySpace page. Anybody else go to MySpace? There's one. All right, I got one person I can message. But say he's hanging out up there and a rock kicks loose, hits him in the head. At this point, I'm gonna need a kid or two to come forward. Maybe about 6. Hey, don't worry about raising your hands, we're not that organized. See that rope that's there for your safety? Ignore it. Just come forward, guys. Just come on forward. Come on forward. Not everyone's gonna get one, please don't cry. But grab yourself a water balloon. 1 water balloon each, close with and destroy. We want to hit him in the head. The goal is unconsciousness, okay? So let's see if we can get that done. I know he's wearing a helmet, but it's not, it's just a bum helmet. Oh no, I'm sorry guys, there's water left. Thanks for coming out though. Let it eat, guys, let him have it. Let him have it. Oh, that was like a firing squad. That's on my chair. That's on the laptop. And, oh, see that Matrix stuff? Oh, folks, let's hear it for our rocks. Nice job, guys. And in the dive tank. Yay! We'll figure it out. Hey, Ryan, next year, lawn darts. More accurate, more entertaining, don't have to fill them up. All right, so Brandon's been knocked unconscious, but we can't leave him up there. We've got a lot of time and money invested in him. So if you look all the way up top, we've got Rob. Rob's gonna work his way down his line. He's gonna latch hands onto Brandon and hopefully bring them both down to safety. Come on down, Rob. Okay. We choose all our own music out. Here's a bold choice for Rob. Obviously comfortable in his own skin. What? This is not your music?
Need something fresh.
Fresh?
Something macho.
You need something fresh and manly, DJ Cornish.
Who's up there?
Rob.
Come
I
on.
should have told him. He's got something for you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Village People. As Rob L's out and comes down, you're going to notice he has a different piece of equipment on the front of his harness. Rob's not working a brake bar rack. He's carrying what's called, he's carrying what's called a brake bar rack nowadays. That piece of equipment lets him take additional weight onto his system. In this case, that additional weight is going to be Brandon. He stops slightly above Brandon, but he's got to go ahead and do a tie-off so he doesn't fall to the ground and become a casualty. Then he reaches for that blue strap on his side. It's called a pick-off strap, designed specifically for rope rescue. He uses a partial inversion and his impressive wingspan, thank you Vanna, for hooking to Brandon. Then he'll use those bulging biceps and he somehow shoehorns into an extra medium t-shirt to throw it off. You can see how Brandon instinctively reaches for Rob's hips and legs. We're a very close-knit team. At this point, we ask no photos be taken. Thank you. You see Brandon's line has gone slack. That's an indication his weight has been removed from it. Rob is now completely freeing him from his line and retaining all his equipment so it doesn't fall and hurt anybody below. All these steps, it's important that they're done in a proper sequence. Now Rob will undo his tie-off and hopefully lower them both safely to the ground. Looks like he nailed it. Ladies and gentlemen, the pickoff. All right, folks, we've gone over basic rappelling. We've showed you a couple of the safety measures we have in place. We've gone over a very small percentage of the rescue work that we are capable of. However, there is also a tactical application to the rope work we're demonstrating here today. Say, for example, if there were a bad guy out here creeping around, snatched up a kid, went up in this building and barricaded the door shut. Horrible choice of location on his part, but I digress. He's got that door hammered shut pretty good and he feels real confident we're not going to be able to breach it. Unfortunately for that bad guy, the Special Operations Response Team doesn't need to come in through the door. We can come in through the window. But before we do, we count on all our other partners in law enforcement. The men and women that you see in the gray uniforms with the Stetsons, the road troopers, they are the first responders. It's the most important and dangerous job in division. They show up at these chaotic scenes and oftentimes by themselves, lock them down and contain them. After that, they call in supervisors, investigators, negotiators, and other special operations such as K-9 and aviation. And when we all get together, we work together quite well as a team. Once they get it locked down, it's time to do our job. So it looks like Rob's ready to come down and run the recon. Rob is especially careful in this one not to land too hard. Gently land on the roof so nobody notices he's there. He switches brake hands and transition into that commando crawl. Now he's going to check windows for suspect and hostage. Oh, that is not our target, Robbie. That is not our target. You gotta get out of there. This is an aggressive one. Hamsey! Rob, get out of there. Back to work. Oh, no. Swipe left, brother. Whew. That was close. He's got eyes in that bottom window. He's found the suspect and the hostage. Now Rob reaches up on his harness. That was a close one. He pulls up on his harness for that canister. That's a noise flash diversion device, commonly referred to as a flashback. That's going to make a bright light and loud noise that distracts and disorients the suspect while we seize the initiative. Looks like Robbie's ready to deploy the bang, and it looks like we're ready for Colt to effect the rescue. Colt's in the window, trying to find the suspect. Oh, old-timey boxing match into a pile driver. Oh, Mr. Wrestling match. Uh-oh, he's calling it a suplex, ladies and gentlemen. And the coup de grace. He's in custody. Cole, how's Timmy? Timmy okay? Timmy's okay, and you are still the champion. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Cole Shebat. He's a real hero, just ask him. Folks, we really appreciate you coming out today. I'm glad we were able to get the show in. I hope you can tell that we enjoy coming out here, working on this awesome tower, interacting with you good people. It represents a nice break for us. However, at the end of the day, it is a serious business we're involved in. If you look along that roof line, there's 4 sets of numbers. Those are the shield numbers for troopers Michael Strank, Ross Riley, David Brinkerhoff, and Joseph Longobardo. Those 4 men were operators on our team who died in the line of duty. They made the ultimate sacrifice serving the people of the state of New York, and we think it's those guys that deserve a real round of applause this afternoon. You folks have been a great crowd. We really appreciate you coming out. Feel free to come forward after the show. We'll answer questions, post for pictures, tasteful of course, hand out some stickers for the kids. Make sure to hit up the museum over here, and the cabin behind you's got interactive displays, and they're both air conditioned. And you've got the Trooper Foundation and the NYST PBA for all your state police swag. Thanks again for coming out, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day at the great New York State Fair.